So how's it going, my comic shop? I'm here today with Jon Westhoff, the creator of Drumsticks of Doom, the recent one, for the C.P.S. and Bulletproof Chicken. How you doing, Jon?
Hey, you hit all the big ones. Yep, that's me.
Yeah.
I'm doing fine. Yet another book coming out here. Another chapter in Drumsticks of Doom is live right now.
I think last time we talked, you was talking about taking over the world. How is that coming along?
Very slowly. It's not quite worked out how I planned, but nothing ever does, right?
Right.
I thought we'd be on like book 3 of Drumsticks of Doom by now. I'd have C.P.S. in trade, depowered in trade, but no, the world hasn't cooperated, but that's okay. We're still here. I can't complain.
So what's the hold up with the trade for C.P.S.?
Just time, finances. My co-creator on C.P.S. Stepped aside. He's got some real life responsibilities to do, so had to find a new art team to collaborate with, and so it slowed things down a little bit. And then other projects, this is our third crowdfunding of 5 this year, so we're kind of going full bore after not getting as much out in the last 2 years as we wanted. So we're trying to catch up. But that's the thing too. Like in independent comics, you don't just want to. I'm not Travis Gibb. I can't do 1 or 2 every month.
Yeah.
I just don't have the energy or the focus for it.
So we're on issue 2 of Drumsticks of Doom.
We're on issue 5, which is starting a new arc. So it's actually issue 1 of a new series. So we're doing kind of the Hellboy style series of mini-series. It is continuing the story, but people can jump in. It's called Band on the Silver Mountain. The first arc was, Lana finding her magical pair of drumsticks and trying to figure out where she fits in the music world and this mythical world that she's been thrown into a battle with. And the second arc, she's going to record her album on the mysterious Silver Mountain with her crew. And of course, some nefarious characters try to get in on that jam session. So the second arc focuses on that, but also, again, of course, exploring her world outside of music and what is her path in all this. And then hopefully that'll lead us into our third and final arc somewhere into next year.
Okay. And you said Depowered. What is that one about?
Yeah, Depowered was our superhero book. It's basically the short pitches. 20 years ago, a group of people got superpowers, but for better or worse, 10 years after they lost their powers. And now we're picking up the story where we've got a bunch of people who had powers for a short time, and how do they cope with that? And how do they go on in the world when they used to kind of be this superior group of people, and now they're kind of back to normalcy. So that was our 3-issue miniseries that came out from 2021 to 2023. We finished that. So hoping to get that collected in trade, but all 3 issues are out. That story is complete.
Sweet. Did you get distributing through Diamond figured out?
We haven't yet. I did submit Drumsticks of Doom. They did say that, politely, that they weren't interested at this time. But I'm hoping that now that we're kind of building up a pretty big library, that they'd be interested in at least letting our foot in the door there. I also submitted to Lunar and a couple other other distributors as well. But the distributing warehouse is right here behind me for now.
Yeah. I mean, what's the requirements to submit to Diamond?
You need to have, well, for one, you need to have a book that's professional looking. It needs to have an ISBN number. So the requirements are minimum, but they do review every project submitted. So you could submit them and say, I have a plan to submit to put out 5 trade paperbacks in the next 3 years. They want to hear not just about one project you're submitting, they want to see a plan. So I think that's where sometimes people stumble, including myself, because unless I get distribution, I can't really commit to that concrete plan. So it's kind of a catch-22. But they said that they like to take on smaller publishers who offer something different. So we're doing, some new things. Like we got a stuffed animal coming out from one of our Drumsticks of Doom characters. We've got some different merch that we're trying to do. So I'm hoping that will get people like Diamond more interested, that we're kind of doing things, a little differently.
Yeah, a lot of indie comic creators are doing the plushies, which is cool that y'all are, like we're getting further soon. It's just going to be like full-size action figures and stuff,
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. I think that's kind of everybody's dream when they make a comic is to have the action figures. But I never really thought about the stuffies. I have a hard time with even like the variant covers and the tchotchkes and stuff. But when it makes sense for the book, Argyle, the Arachnigator, he's a hybrid in Drumsticks of Doom. He's gotten such a good response from people. He was also, when I was kind of trying to think of a pet sidekick for the book, I asked my daughter, who was 8 at the time, hey, what would a spider look like crossed over with an alligator? And she drew this awesome
Yeah.
version, and she was just so excited. And when she saw Dan Doherty's version, my co-creator on the book, she was just so excited. And then I talked about, let's make a stuffed animal, and she's waiting, for it to come in the mail, and that's been a really cool thing. So even if in the end it's not like a big hit for the merch, like I want to do stuff that like gets me excited, and is at least 20 years from now I'll remember that my daughter and I collaborated with Dan on this cool idea from our book.
That's cool. I like that. I got a guitar pick up there from I think the first book.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Those have been a big hit. We did do glow in the dark drumsticks, limited, because everybody kept asking me, why are you doing guitar picks? Your book is called Drumsticks of Doom, and I'm like, I get that, but guitar picks are cool. They're small. They're easy to ship and make. Drumsticks are huge, pain in the ass. But I did it one time. I may go back to it again. But yeah, that kind of stuff is cool to me. That makes sense with the book. The metal covers make sense with a heavy metal book, right? So,
right.
I'm always kind of adverse to that. But a lot of my peers have kind of coached me through that and said, you know what? Put stuff out there. Let people decide what they want. It's not all about what you want as a consumer or what you feel like is cool. But I do try to, again, kind of make it, fit with the theme of the book.
I think the guitar pick was cool. When I first started doing this and back in Kickstarters and stuff, I would get like a random poker chip, would have like a logo on one side and a picture of the character on the other. And it would confuse the hell out of me because the book wouldn't have anything to do with poker or even
right.
And I was like, this is weird. But
poker chips are cool, but
yeah, right.
Yeah, a lot of people just like, if I do shot glasses or something. And again, those are cool, but try to make it, if your character's, got a drinking problem or something.
What kind of add-ons you got now? You said the plushie. Are you doing guitar?
We do have the guitar picks again. We have beard combs this time. Heavy metal. A lot of us, have beards. So we did that as well. We got the plush. We have patches. Heavy metal people are very into patches. They got what they call the battle vest when they, put their patches from the band. So I thought that was a cool addition with our Drumsticks of Doom logo. So we're trying to cover all those, heavy metal bases from the years. We've got snow hats. We've got quite a bit with this book.
Have you do you play an instrument?
I play drums, yeah.
Have you thought about putting an album together?
So for the first one, we did like the creators of the book, even our logo designer, Dave Jordan, he contributed a song. Dan himself is a working musician. He still does to this day. I put in a song from the band I was in before I started making comics. So we kind of made a compilation album of music we've made. Dan and I have talked about like writing a song. Maybe if we get to that final arc, maybe we'll do our like send off song as like a special thing at the end. I'm a little rusty, so Dan would have to bear with me. He's the better musician. He sings, plays guitar, writes all his own songs, and his band is called the Dan Doherty Band. If anybody's interested, yeah. So I've thought about it, but only being a drummer, I do not have all the skills to make a whole song. I need to collaborate with Dan on that one.
Sweet. The first album, is it just out there on YouTube? Like, can people listen to it?
It is. It's actually for free on Bandcamp.
Okay. I'll link it.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. If anybody's interested and wants to Google it, if you're watching this, Ripcord Records put it out. A friend of mine, Charlene, in the UK, she runs a small distribution company, and she was like, "Yeah, we'll put it out under my label. We'll make it, a cool thing, and it's just, it's up there for free. So if people want to check it out, again, even our pinup artist, Don Cardenas, he does music himself. So we got, 4 or 5 of us who were in the first book made a little compilation album as a fun add-on.
That's still cool. That's so cool. Where are you going to be at this year? What conventions you going to?
So I am doing I am doing Bizarre Bazaar in Valparaiso, Indiana, in June. I did Northwest Indiana Comic Con before this. I did not get in at C2E2 this year, but that's okay. And I've got a couple other ones coming up, but unfortunately, you caught me off guard. I don't have them with me, but I try to stick to the local, smaller ones right now. You know, now that I have the Drumsticks of Doom trade paperback, which came out great, I think that I'm ready to get back into the bigger shows because you know how it is. You pay a couple $100 for a table, and if you know you're selling a couple floppies and some stickers, you're not likely to make that table fee back unless you're really hustling out there. So having the bigger ticket items, like the plush and the trade paperback, I think next year will be a big year for us part-time comics getting out to those bigger shows.
Okay. Yeah. You do your comic in black and white, right?
Just Drumsticks of Doom. Dan and I had talked about that. Black and white feels like heavy metal. A lot of the heavy metal magazines are in black and white, and we talked about bringing in color, and we went with it. And I'm so glad that we did because it really does fit the feel of the book. The feel of that style and genre. So yeah, we're sticking with black and white. We've talked about maybe things go well for the book, doing like a colored hardcover edition or something like that as a cool end cap for the series. But yeah, for now it's in beautiful black and white. Dan does it all, and he's just amazing.
Or you could do all 3 volumes like a one-time limited run in color, like a big kind of, what is it, compendium?
Yeah, I think a compendium, omnibus, something like that. Like Scott Pilgrim came back and did that. A lot of the other books that were in black and white. But yeah, we would see, and that would be a fun thing too, because it's like, okay, that's something we could put out like crowdfunding and say, hey, is there interest? Do people want this? And if they don't, you know what? We still have a great book, and that's okay. No harm, no foul.
I like it. Where do you get inspiration?
Well, as the title might give away, I'm very inspired by music. I've been in a band since I was 15. I love music. I'm always, listening to music, singing a song in the shower, wherever. I just really like music, and I kind of gravitate towards other music fans. All my friends are, huge into music, and most of us were in and out of bands together throughout, high school and college. So that's a big inspiration for me. Lyrics to songs and a song that you vibe with can just, give you a great feel. That's part of how Drumsticks of Doom came to be. I was getting older, and I've always felt like I've had, diverse taste, but I was really getting into different music for me. And that left me kind of questioning, well, am I a metalhead, or, what, I'm supposed to like metal and hardcore. That's who I am. And I've always had great friends, and my older brother, he's a big influence on me. They were never judgmental or anything, but you always got that kind of thing, right? From being in the scene and being like, oh, people are going to judge me if I listen to pop music or stuff. And that idea popping in my head was so funny that I thought, well, what if there was a person who was in a world of heavy metal, and they had to kind of cope with, well, I don't really like heavy metal as much. So that was kind of where Drumsticks of Doom kind of came from. Some of those branching out my own musical taste,
I like it. In your opinion, what is the greatest album of all time?
Well, my favorite band of all time is Primus, which I know a lot of people would say is, kind of a weird band. Their best album, I'm going to cheat and say they're equal, and that's Frizzle Fry and Sailing to Seas of Cheese, their first 2 albums. Those are my favorite. But, if I had to give it to like a heavy metal album of all time, it's probably Master of Puppets or And Justice for All from Metallica. I mean, those are the ones that usually most music fans into heavy metal, hard rock, and stuff like that, will kind of cite those.
Well, I'm gonna ask you first because I'm gonna put it up on Facebook a little later tonight and see what everyone else says. Because I think I asked everybody, what's your favorite action movie of all time?
My favorite action movie, probably Predator.
Ooh, okay. I said Terminator 2.
That's another good one. we were spoiled in our heyday, RoboCop, Terminator, Predator. We had some pretty iconic ones.
Yeah. What social medias are you on?
We are on too many of them. Hive, Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. All were Part-Time Comics with an X. That's how you can find us on pretty much anything. You can Google Part-Time Comics, again with an X. It'll come up right away. Linktree is the best way to find us. Linktree/Part-Time Comics. Because, yeah, we have way too many, because you know how it is these days. We can't just be on Facebook and Twitter anymore. You got to be on all of them all the time.
Yep.
Hawking your wares.
I don't know if Threads is getting any traction or not. You know,
doesn't seem like it. Blue Sky's kind of the same way. It's enjoyable because it's a less noisy social media. It's not as loud and obnoxious as Twitter, and it doesn't shoot video at you like TikTok when you open it up. You know, an old man, I want to close the app right away. But yeah, there's some that are kind of slower going.
Yeah, I'm scared of TikTok. I got ADHD, so I know as soon as I get on it, I'm not going to get off of it. So yeah. I don't even try.
It's real bad for that.
Yeah, and it's the quick videos too, and I think they just play automatically.
Yep.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Dead or alive, who would you make a comic book with? Your dream team.
I mean, you can probably see a peek in the corner there. My Max collection back there. I'm have been since I was like 13 years old, obsessed with Sam Keith. I would love to do a comic with Sam Keith. As a matter of fact, I probably wouldn't even put myself on the book. I would just say, hey, you do whatever you want to do. I'll publish it. I'll letter it for you if you want me to. I'll give you some dialogue tips or whatever, but I would kind of step out of the way and just let Sam work with one of our characters.
That'd be sweet. Are you taking submissions?
We're not open for submissions, unfortunately. Even though I use a brand title in Part-Time Comics, it's really just a glorified way of putting my books out there and kind of making it look semi-professional. I've done anthologies where I've worked with people, and I still love to do that. I love anthologies, the whole process of having an idea, gathering people together, the chaos of trying to get it together, chasing all the cats and herding all the cats, and then this book comes out and you're like, holy crap, we did it. I love that process. I'm also very grateful that a couple people invited me to their anthology, so I don't have to do the cat herding anymore. So I think in my older years, I'll probably do less of putting them together myself, but I think that was one of the first things I did when I started in comics was put anthologies together, and it's just always something. So I think that's a way that I'll, be open to other creators, publishing under Part-Time Comics.
Oh yeah, I can imagine that would be a headache to try to get all the creators together to get it.
Yeah, and every time you set the deadline, you always have to know you got to be a little flexible. There's always going to be one or two late. Artists forgot they were supposed to do it. Writer didn't finish the script on time, so artist got it late. It's a thing, but you just got to be patient, and especially if you're paying low wages or not at all, you're just paying them copies of the book. You can't bark at them too much.
I got you. Is there anything you want to say before we go?
No, thanks for having me. I'm sorry it's been so long. We're still in this world where everything feels like the last 5 years have been like 1 year. So I'll try not to make it so long next time. But if anybody's interested, we are on a newer crowdfunding format that only focuses on comic books. It's our first time doing it. We approached them. They were very excited about doing Drumsticks of Doom. It's called Zoop, ZOOP.com. We're one of the first books that will come up. We're only one of 6 projects on there right now. We're next to amazing names like Jim Starlin and Tim Seeley. So it's really cool to be on a site, but that also comes with the crutch of it's not as big of a site as Kickstarter. So we do really need people's help. If you can't back the book, share it out. But it's Zoop.com. Drumsticks of Doom is on there right now. We'll probably be working with them again in the future. I know I love Kickstarter. They've been very good to me. Don't worry, people. I know I've had a couple people reach out and say, I don't want to go to another platform. And I get it. We're not saying you have to, but as creators, we got to try different things too, right? We can't put all our eggs in one basket. So again, Zoop is 100% comic centric, comics and comics merchandise. And to me, again, that's really cool because Kickstarter is amazing. It's been very good to us. It's the only reason I'm able to continue this company. But we had to try something different, and it was cool to be approached about doing the book and them to be excited about putting us on there and helping us set up the page and they promote it. And you don't get that kind of personalized attention at a big place like Kickstarter. So again, Zoop.com, people check it out. Don't be afraid. Even if you don't back us, there's tons of great projects on there. Share something out. Help some of us small time creators, get these projects funded.
All right, Jon, I appreciate you taking the time to come talk with me.
Thanks for having me.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comic Chat Authority?
Oh, come on. Subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal.
Like, man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button.
Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.